Welcome to the first episode of Gamer Strength. And I'm super happy to be here. I am Logic. Welcome back to the channel. And this is going to be a bit of new content for me. I'm super excited because gamers have this unfortunate stigma of being kind of not strong. You guys have heard the don't touch grass thing. I'm kind of a fitness guy. I've been in the gym for quite a while. I've always been into athletics and stuff on and off throughout my life. And I think that it's really important. And I want to show you guys how to do stuff in the gym safely, how easy it is to stay fit, how easy it is to get other people into fitness. Let's get started. A lot of times, I spend a bunch of time getting to know my gym, getting to know the machines, how to use them, where everything is, and all that stuff, because as a blind person, for me, it's not always convenient to just walk around the gym with my cane. And if I'm moving big movements, like with this station right here, I'm sitting in a power rack, I wouldn't necessarily grab my cane just to go over to the lat pull down to my right. But if I'm going all the way over to, say, the Smith machine, off on the other side of the room, or the sitting leg raise or something like that, I might want to until I know the gym, especially if you're not the only one in the gym. I want to show you guys, first of all, how to be safe in the gym. I want to show you how some of the stuff works, how you can apply it to the gym that you're at, or even do some stuff at home. So let's talk about weights. So here I am on the deadlifting mat. Let's talk about weights. It's really easy to identify what kind of weight you're holding, because 9 times out of 10, there's gonna be some raised print on there. If you're really busy and don't wanna look down at the weights, you can just feel what kind of weights these are if you hold them. Now, this is a 5-pound weight. I can feel it by touching it. This is a 10-pound weight, and a lot of times it's obvious because every time you up the weight, it's gonna get bigger. We've got 5, 10, 25, and 35 here. These are weight plates that go onto a barbell, and I'll be showing you some barbell stuff later on. But one thing that you always want to make sure with these is pinching your fingers. That's the #1 gym safety thing that I'm going to talk about in this section. When you're putting things back, I'll show you guys how I rack these in just a second. When you're putting these back, you can hold them around the edges like this with your fingers on the back when you're carrying them. Once you line them up with whatever they're sitting on and they get in there, you want to transition around to the edges. You're not going to need your fingers around the back anyway. You know what? I'll just show you. So here I am at the edge of the power rack, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this without pinching your fingers, because I've actually done that a couple of times since I've been working in the gym until I realized that there's actually a smart way to do this. So I've got all the weights stacked here on the floor. Let's start with the 5 and the 10-pound plates. You definitely don't want to do 2 plates at a time with the lighter ones, but with these, I just find the peg with the back of my hand. Once it's on, I switch around to the front and just push it. I'll show you again with this. I lift it up, find the peg with the back of my hand, and now that the plate's on, I move to the front and push it. Now let's do that with some heavier plates. Let's get the 25-pound plate. I'm holding this with both hands. My fingers are around the back, and that's safe when you're aligning it, like I said. But now that it's on the pin, I move my fingers and push it in from the front. Let's do it with the 35-pound plate. And once we get past 25 pounds, see, I find it with the back of the plate. Instead of finding it with my hand, I actually find it with the back of the plate instead. And it's gonna take a little trial and error to learn how to do that. Here we got the 45-pound plate, but let's bend down. I'm gonna use the back of the plate to find the pin. Boom. The way that I do that is because these plates are round, the hole in the middle is always gonna be equidistant from both hands. So as you get used to holding those, you'll be able to just kind of find the middle if you just take it and fiddle it around a little bit and just push it on. Let's move on to dumbbells. So here we are at the dumbbell rack, and the reason that I really focus on dumbbells is because if you're in a situation where you don't have access to a gym and you're at home and you have a little bit of money laying around, dumbbells can go a long way, especially adjustable dumbbells. Now, we don't have any in this gym. Maybe I'll get a pair for the house and we can do a video if this gets enough support. Here, we've got 5-pound dumbbells all the way up to 100-pound dumbbells, if I'm not mistaken, all the way off camera there. And dumbbells are nice because you can use these little 5-pound ones for tiny movements like shoulder laterals, especially if you're just getting warmed up with the shoulder laterals like I am, because I haven't done any. So this is a nice demo weight. We've got a 55-pound dumbbell here, and that's really good. See, I can do an exercise like this without much warm-up. That's really something good for something like a dumbbell row or something like that if you're trying to really work those lats. So I'll be able to show you guys exercises throughout the series that will definitely help you with not only being stationary and have better posture while gaming. You won't cramp up as much, you'll look better if you're worried about that. If not, then you'll feel better. And to be honest, going to the gym gives me energy. Let's move on to cables. So here we are at our cable machine, and cable machines are super powerful because they allow you to do tons of exercises. Now, if you have a cable machine with adjustable pulleys, even better. I have one back at my gym in my apartment complex. This one, instead of having adjustable pulleys, there's a pulley down here, there's a pulley up there that you guys can't see, but you'll probably see it later. There's a whole bunch of other pulleys behind me that can adjust to things like a pec deck and a squat machine and stuff like that. So they're super reliable and really versatile. They all depend on something called a weight stack, and weight stacks are different from weight plates because the cable machine works differently from a free weight. And a lot of people, for safety and to help with form, will use cables for certain exercises because it's a lot easier for your joints to do what your joints do. And that will make sense when you start working out. I'm not going to try and explain it. Try Renaissance periodization for the sciencey guy. That guy actually has a PhD in this. I'm just a gym bro. But it's really easy to adjust weight stacks. A lot of them will have a pin in the front. And it's easy for you to figure out these weight increments. You either just scan the front with like an OCR app, or you just ask somebody. But say, for example, I want to go down to 6 plates. It's really easy to know because each one will have a hole in the front, and you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes, and you just stick the pin in. And now every time you lift, say for example, if I want to do a row, I'll show you guys better from the side later. If I want to do a row, it's pulling 6 plates, just like that. I know it's kind of hard to see in the position I was in, but I'll show you guys more how this works in just a minute when we start the workout. So here we are in the power rack, and we're going to be working with a barbell for this part of the video. Now, a barbell is a long cylindrical bar with 2 rotating sleeves at each end. And the reason that these sleeves rotate is so that when you're moving the weight up and down with the bar, when the weights shift, the bar compensates for that. Now these bars also have a little bit of flex in them. It helps with lifting more weight. These bars are designed to help you out as much as possible. They also have something called knurling, which is a rough part on the bar where you're supposed to put your hands. There are rings in between the 2 sets of outer knurlings. I use them as a tactile function to help me place my hands. And some bars will also have a center knurling for certain exercises. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to move this barbell from the front set of J-clips on the power rack to the rear set of J-clips on the power rack. The reason that I like lifting in a power rack is because of the safety aspect, right? So a power rack is essentially just a metal cage. And some of the nicer power racks also comes with safety bars. If you don't, they're really modular. You can put safety bars on them. Now the safety bars are these posts right here at the bottom, and I have them set so that when I lay down and I start pushing the weight, let's just start, yeah, gym safety. As I lay down, you want to make sure that you're paying attention rather than talking to the camera like me. Don't hit your head on the bar like that. And you want the bar to be right over your eyes. Now, mind you, I'm not a trainer, so keep that in mind. So the bar's over my eyes. I have wide shoulders, so I put my thumb and my index finger around the smooth rings in between the knurling. I walk my scapula forward, plant my glutes at my feet so that I have a nice arch in my back, and I lift straight up and forward. When you move the bar forward, a lot of times you want it to either be at or just in front of your shoulders, kind of right at the center of your chest, and you're gonna go straight down, keep your elbows kind of tucked forward and up, straight down and up.
Now, when you notice me go down and up, you'll see the bar go backwards. That's normal, and that's why I like doing bench press with free weights, because it allows your arms to move naturally. If you bench in a machine, you can only move in a straight line, but your joints don't do that. So, how do you load the bar safely? I'm gonna show y'all how. So, you just heard me put the first plate on. I've got the 25-pound plate here. What I'm gonna do is kind of like I did when I racked it. I'm going to use the plate and the bar to find where the center hole is and just push it on like that. I don't like lifting with collars because if I'm by myself, by the way, I don't ever recommend benching by yourself if you're new to lifting, or in most cases, but when I'm benching by myself and I'm using lighter weight, if I get tired, I can just tilt the bar to the side and slide the weight off or drop it down on the safety. I've got it, I'm moving it slightly forward. We're gonna go down to the chest. Don't quite touch it, don't rest on the chest. And up with your normal shoulder and elbow pattern, which is a lot of the times slightly backwards. Just like that. All right. Here we are at the dumbbell rack. I love dumbbells because they're easily acquirable. You can do so many exercises at home. You don't need a bunch of specialized equipment. Now, I usually use dumbbells for biceps. It feels particularly good for me. So let's go ahead and grab the 10-pound dumbbells. Well, Logic, why only 10 pounds? You're a big guy. When you are lifting, you always want to warm up. Even if your muscles can handle it, you have something called connective tissue, which joins all your muscles to everything, and it also helps with your joints. So like, if I just went straight to like the 30s over there, for example, I could probably struggle and lift them up, but my arms would hate me. And you're never as effective if you go straight into your working weight than with a warm-up weight. So I'm gonna do some hammer curls here, which you basically just keep the weights at your sides with the big part of the bell pointed front and back, and you just bend at the elbow, lift the weight up so it's parallel to your body, and put it back down. Now with warm-ups, it's not a super big deal to go nice and slow and stuff like that. You're just trying to get some blood flowing in the muscles, get the joints warmed up, get the connective tissues ready, and I'm already starting to feel a little bit of a burn in all of those things, which means I'm starting to get blood flow into them. My body's starting to produce a little lactic acid, and we can really start getting going with the weight. How do I tell what weight I'm picking up? Let's use these top dumbbells for example. I can tell that this is a 55-pound dumbbell because there's a big old number 55 on it. I'll pick it up and show you guys. You can see the big number 55 engraved in the weight. Now, if you're at a gym where you can't tell how heavy it is, say the numbers are printed on there, which I've never seen, but I'm sure it's possible. A lot of times you can tell just based on what order it comes in. So I'm going to grab the 15-pound dumbbells, and I know that for two reasons. Number one, they're right next to the 10-pound dumbbells. And number two, there's a raised number 15 right on the bell. We are going to start paying more attention to form with this, and I think I'll do a future episode on form. This one is just getting around the gym, knowing what different things are, knowing how to be safe. I'm gonna do one more lift once I rest a little bit with the 20-pound dumbbells, and then I'm gonna show you something else that you can do with dumbbells that will probably surprise your biceps. So here I am with the 20-pound dumbbells, and I'm going to do one more set of hammer curls. Now you notice I'm going a lot slower this time. I'm paying more attention to keeping my elbows locked at my sides and really squeezing those biceps. You don't want to involve your shoulders at all. And you can for a compound movement, but we are focusing on isolation movements for the smaller muscles because it helps get them bigger faster. Okay, we don't want to get too torn up I want to save some energy for the next thing. So I've moved a bench here in front of the dumbbell rack. I went down 5 pounds to the 15-pound dumbbells. And the reason that I've done this is because we are going to do a strict curl. Now, strict curls suck, and let me tell you why. What you have to do is you grab the dumbbells and you hang them between your thighs like this. The reason that you do this is because you want the upper part of your arm to be restricted. That's why they call it a strict curl. I've got my triceps planted against my thighs, and what I'm gonna do is, as that traps my tricep, I'm gonna curl with my elbow, and it forces the triceps, the shoulders, and everything to be excluded from the curl. Now with this, you're more curling sideways instead of in front of you, and the weights are gonna go in front of your body, so don't get too excited and bust yourself in the chin with the dumbbell. Yes, I have done that before, but strict curls suck. And it's also a little harder to do when you're tall like me. But anyway, that's dumbbells. You guys should try this stuff. It's really effective. It doesn't take that long. I'll see you on cables. All right, we're back at the cable machine. Again, I love cables because of how versatile they are. It's only that way for certain exercises, I think, and a lot of times I will use cables for things like big muscle movements, triceps, back workouts, and sometimes I'll use them if I want a whole lot of tension in a smaller muscle, like sometimes I'll warm up with biceps on cables and stuff like that, but today we are gonna do something called a tricep push down. That muscle can take a lot more weight. It's responsible for a lot more of your big compound movements like benching. So you really want to get your triceps strong for that, and you also want to get your shoulders strong for that. But we're going to focus on triceps today. I'm probably going to do an entire separate video on shoulders. So I've got a pin here, and as I explained earlier, you can use the pin that comes with the machine to set your weight. Let's do 5 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got a handle rigged to the top pulley here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my hands over top of it and curl them around like you're about to hang from some monkey bars. Push down a teeny bit to lift the plates off. And now you have tension on your arms. Now what you want to do is, when you have the bar just about shoulder level, a lot of people like to do, have their arms at 90 degrees like this, and then push down like that. But I find that my muscles respond a lot more when they're stretched. And the more your arms are bent, the more your triceps are stretched. So instead of a 90 degree angle, maybe a 45 degree angle, or maybe a little bit smaller so that your hands are up at your shoulders and you're looking straight ahead. Big chest, keep your chest out. Bend your knees just a tiny bit to get that base of support, and you just push straight down. And if you can find a bar with rotating handles, even better, because your wrists will thank you. And you want to do it with low weight at first, just to warm those triceps up. No ego lifting in gamer strength. We're focusing on getting truly strong. And if you focus on that, the looks will come. So another thing about gym etiquette, do not slam your weights, especially with cables. There are certain exercises like deadlifts and things where people are kind of expecting you to drop the bar. In some sports like powerlifting and whatnot, you'll see a lot of people do that in the gym, not necessarily in competition, but you see how I put that bar down. I get to the top of my lift, and then I pause, and then lower the weight down. You're gonna hear some noise, but you're not like, you don't wanna do that. You don't wanna do that. So I wanna go up in weight, so I'm gonna pull the pin out, and I'm gonna go down 2 plates. See, changing stacks is a lot faster than changing weights. And that's why if you're in a hurry, and my workouts are normally about an hour long, With cables, it's a lot faster. If you focus, once the weight gets heavier, on that slow eccentric, that means when the weights are coming back up, not when you first push them down, but when they come back up, you're gonna feel that tug and that burn in those muscles. And that's what you want. So that's one version of cables. I'm gonna show you guys one more cable exercise for this video, and it's one of my favorites. So give me just a sec, let me set up. Here we are back at the cable machine. I'm holding a weird looking attachment in my hand. The reason I'm holding the attachment and not using the attachment right now, because I wanna show you guys how easy it is to rig up a cable to do anything you want. So earlier, I was working on just a straight bar that you put your hands over. This one has both. It has a straight bar, but at the ends, it has like two C-shaped brackets with vertical hands on it. These are called supinated hands. And supination is when you turn your wrists inward. And it's super easy to attach a lot of these. In the middle of most of the attachments, you're gonna find a little loop right in the center. All you gotta do is take a carabiner on either a high pulley or a low pulley or an adjustable pulley, if your machine has that, and you just stick the carabiner through the hole on the attachment, and now you're connected to the machine. Now for this, I'm gonna be doing one of my favorite exercises, which is the seated row. Now we don't have a seated rowing machine that I particularly like to use just because of the way that my joints and stuff work, but that's why I love cables, because if you've got a cable machine with a low enough pulley and the right attachment, you can do it. So I'm gonna plant my feet on the base of the machine, and I'm gonna grab the handles on both sides and just straighten my knees. And what that's gonna do is that's going to lift the stack up in the air. There's tension on this cable now. I'm holding the weight in my hands. My legs are straight, my arms are fully extended. I'm sitting up with a little bit of flex in my back. You just pull on the cable till your arms are tucked at your sides, and you let it go. Now your arms are straight. You pull till your arms are stretched by your sides, and you let it go. And notice when I'm doing this, there's a little bit of body English from my shoulders, because at the end, I want those muscles stretched all the way out. And to do that, you kind of have to let your shoulders round forward. Now logic, doesn't that make it harder at the bottom of the lift? Yeah, it's the point. Your muscles respond better when they're stretched. So if you let the weight come all the way down and almost to a complete lockout, to the point where it's stretching your shoulders, that's good. You want that. So let's start moving up in the weight, because this is my favorite exercise and I want to lift now. So we just went up 2 more plates. Woo! 4 more plates. Each of those plates is 10 pounds. Woo! I think I might be able to actually max the machine out today, guys. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 plates left. Let's go up 2 more plates. Woo! All right. I think we can actually max this machine now, guys. My goodness. Oh, I didn't expect to go hard on any of these lifts today, but you know what? You can't waste an opportunity. There we go. We have lifted off, and now we're gonna, let's go for 6 reps. Four, 5, 6. Woo! You know what, guys? Hold on, I'll be right back. This is the part of the video where I implore you Don't do what I'm about to do. I've got a 20-pound dumbbell here. I'm going to rig it on top of this stack of weights. I'm gonna... Get in there. There we go. All right. Okay. So we're at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210. This will be a personal record for a sitting row for me. My previous is 205 pounds. 210 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but once you get above a certain number, 5 pounds is a lot. Let's lift off with my legs. All right, we're at lockout, 6 reps. A little bit of body English, that's okay. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Woo! I almost called y'all chat. Anyway, guys. Whew. One more thing I want to talk about before I get out of here. In terms of gym safety and gym etiquette. Number 1, you always want to have a spotter when you're lifting certain exercises, especially if the weight can fall on you. Number 2, clean up the gym after you use it. I'm gonna be cleaning that bench over there and that bench behind me, and I'm gonna be swapping down the handles that I've used, because if you share a gym with people, they're gonna want it to be clean when they come to use the equipment. So your fellow gym bros will thank you for it. But I'm gonna go and pack everything up. I'm gonna get this place clean, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I really hope that you guys enjoy this content. I know this video is long. The first episode of a new series are usually long, but I wanna show you guys, both blind and sighted, how to be safe in the gym, give you guys some tips, and this is just gonna be a big old preview of everything that we've got coming. I just wanted to cover as many topics as I could today, and I'm going to drill down to each individual topic later on in the series. This is Gamer Strength. See you guys on stream.